Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed rallies in Telangana, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh on Friday. Addressing the public in Telangana's Mehboob-Nagar, the Prime Minister asked the people to vote for a new India. He targeted the Congress and said the party neglected the country for years. He said that the citizens in the country were moving forward sans any fear, as the Chowkidar has been alert.
आपने कांग्रेस और दूसरों के अनेक वर्षों का शासन देखा है और इस चौकीदार के 60 महीने भी देखे हैं। विकास के ऐसे अनेक काम इन 60 महीनों में किए गए हैं जो दशकों से अटके और लटके पड़े थे।
In Andhra Pradesh's Kurnool, Prime Minister listed his government's achievements and urged voters to re-elect his government at the centre.
विजयवाड़ा और तिरुपति एयरपोर्ट का विस्तार किसने किया? आखिर तक आवाज आनी चाहिए, किसने किया? किसने किया? इस जैसे तमाम फैसलों, परियोजनाओं ने आंध्र प्रदेश के युवाओं को रोजगार के नए अवसर दिए हैं, सुनहरे भविष्य की गारंटी दी है। इन सभी कार्यों में सहयोग देने के लिए मैं आज आंध्र प्रदेश की जनता का और इस धरती से पूरे हिंदुस्तान के जनता का हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करने आया हूं।
Earlier in the day, Prime Minister launched the BJP's election campaign in eastern part of the country with a rally in Odisha's Koraput district, where he claimed that both the ruling Biju Janata Dal and Congress have not worked for the development of the state. He targeted the ruling BJD in the state for depriving the poor of their right for quality health care.
2019 का ये चुनाव सिर्फ एक सांसद का चुनाव नहीं है, सिर्फ एक विधायक का चुनाव नहीं है। ये चुनाव केंद्र और राज्य में विकास का डबल इंजन लगाने वाली भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकारों के चुनाव का समय है। ये आने वाले 5 वर्षों में नए ओडिशा और नए भारत के निर्माण का चुनाव है। साथियों, ओडिशा मजबूत तब बनेगा जब यहां का आदिवासी, यहां का किसान, यहां का नौजवान आगे बढ़ेगा। जब यहां राज्य में और केंद्र में दोनों ही जगहों पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार होगी, तब ये सपना पूरा होगा।
And BJP President Amit Shah campaigned in West Bengal and Bihar on Friday. In West Bengal's Alipurduar, Amit Shah said that his party will replicate the National Register of Citizens exercise in the state on coming to power at the centre to throw out the infiltrators. He said that the upcoming Lok Sabha polls are all about restoring democracy in the TMC-ruled West Bengal. Shah also criticized the opposition parties for questioning the motive behind the Balakot airstrike.
40 जवानों पर हमला कर मौत के घाट उतार दिया पुलवामा में पाकिस्तान के आतंकवादियों को। उनको दंड देना चाहिए या नहीं देना चाहिए? उन पर बम बरसाने चाहिए, नहीं बरसाने चाहिए? एयरस्ट्राइक करनी चाहिए, नहीं करनी चाहिए? आतंकवादियों को मुंहतोड़ जवाब देना चाहिए, नहीं देना चाहिए? पाकिस्तान को मुंहतोड़ जवाब देना चाहिए, नहीं देना चाहिए? अभी ममता दीदी ना बोल रही है, हम क्या करें? चिंता मत करिए, चाहे ममता हो, अखिलेश हो, राहुल बाबा हो, वो बातचीत करने की सलाह कर रहे हैं। मैं आपको आश्वस्त करने आया हूं मित्रों, नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार, भाजपा सरकार आतंकवादियों को छोड़ेगी नहीं। पाकिस्तान की ओर से गोली आएगी, यहां गोले से जवाब दिया जाएगा।
In Bihar's Aurangabad, Amit Shah urged the voters to vote for the BJP in the upcoming polls. He said that only Prime Minister Narendra Modi can provide decisive and strong leadership, which the country needs right now.
एक पारदर्शी नेतृत्व है, एक कठोर फैसले लेने वाला नेतृत्व है, एक संवेदनशील नेतृत्व है, भारत को दुनिया में गौरव दिलाने वाला नेतृत्व है। एक और मोदी जी है और एक गठबंधन का शंभू मेला है जिनका कोई नेता नहीं है। मित्रों, ये लोग देश का विकास नहीं कर सकते, ये लोग बिहार का विकास नहीं कर सकते।
Meanwhile, the opposition Mahagathbandhan in Bihar has finally agreed on the seat sharing for the 40 Lok Sabha seats in the state on Friday, after a long-drawn tug of war among the partners. As per the seat sharing formula, the RJD has got 20 seats, out of which it is giving up 1 for CPIML. The Congress has 9 seats. Upendra Kushwaha's RLSP has 5. 3 seats each have been allocated for Jitan Ram Manjhi's HAM and Mukesh Sahani's VIP. The announcement was made by Tejasvi Yadav at a press conference in Patna, who declared candidates for 18 constituencies, leaving out the Sheohar seat. The alliance has decided to field RJD leaders Nisa Bharti and Abdul Bari Siddiqui from Patliputra and Darbhanga seats respectively, while Tanveer Hassan will contest from Begusarai. The Congress seats Ranjit Ranjan will contest from his Supol seat and Ashok Ram from Samastipur. Meera Kumar will contest from Sasaram. Making the announcement, Tejasvi Yadav denied reports of rift between his party and the Congress and asserted that the Mahagathbandhan was intact and unbreakable.
कि काफ़ी लोग कह रहे थे कि महागठबंधन में इतनी देरी क्यों हो रही है, क्या कारण है। हम बताना चाहते हैं कि देर आए हैं दुरुस्त आए हैं। देश हित के लिए हम लोग खड़े हैं, बिहार के हित के लिए हम लोग खड़े हैं, गरीब के लिए खड़े हैं, किसान के लिए खड़े हैं, नौजवान के लिए खड़े हैं।
And taking a swipe at the grand alliance of the opposition parties, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said that the Mahagathbandhan is a non-bandhan. In a blog post titled A Political Circus called Mahagathbandhan, Jaitley said that over the last several months, India was exhausted with the talk of a Mahagathbandhan. Jaitley said there is a tussle for leadership in the opposition camp as multiple candidates have made their desire clear to take over the mantle of the leadership. He said that the opposition, Gathbandhan, has no leader, no program and no meeting of minds. Jaitley said that the only thing in common is negative agenda of removing one man. It is a recipe for chaos.
दस प्रांत ऐसे हैं जिसमें वायदा किया था जिन्होंने महागठबंधन का, जो एक दूसरे के खिलाफ लड़ रहे हैं, लगभग आधी संसदीय सीटों पर एक दूसरे के खिलाफ लड़ रहे हैं, एक दूसरे की सीटें कम करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। कोई उनका स्पष्ट नेता नहीं है। 4 नाम ऐसे हैं, राहुल गांधी, मायावती, ममता बनर्जी, शरद पवार, जो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि मेरी सीट बढ़ जाए, दूसरे की कम हो जाए और मेरा नेतृत्व बन जाए। कल को झगड़ेंगे।
Congress President Rahul Gandhi addressed an election rally in Yamunanagar in Haryana. He said that the Congress poll promise for the ambitious Nyay scheme, under which 72,000 rupees will be deposited each year in the bank accounts of 20% of the country's poorest, is historic. He said, unlike the BJP, his party keeps its promise and referred to Nyay, the Congress plans to introduce if it forms the government. The Congress president also campaigned in Kurukshetra and Karnal.
न्याय योजना का मतलब हिंदुस्तान में जिसकी भी आमदनी 12,000 रुपए से कम, महीने से कम की है, 20% हिंदुस्तान में लोग हैं, परिवार हैं, जिनकी आमदनी 12,000 रुपए प्रति महीना से कम है। हम उनको ढूंढेंगे, उनके नाम निकालेंगे और उन सबको, सब परिवारों को साल के 72,000 रुपए उनके बैंक अकाउंट में डाल देंगे।
And Priyanka Gandhi campaigned in Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya district on Friday. At a street corner meeting in Ayodhya, she targeted the BJP, calling it pro-rich, anti-farmer and against the interests of the armed forces. Gandhi reiterated her party's promise to implement a minimum income guarantee scheme for the poorest 20% of the population if Congress comes to power.
जनता के सामने नेता आए, उसको थोड़ी सी घबराहट होनी चाहिए, उसको थोड़ी सी घबराहट होनी चाहिए, उसको यह एहसास होना चाहिए कि मुझे जनता ने बनाया है। अगर मैंने काम नहीं किया, अगर मैंने जनता को आगे नहीं बढ़ाया, तो मेरा नुकसान होगा। लेकिन मेरी आपसे शिकायत है कि आप ये बात भूल गए हो। आपने नेताओं को बहुत बड़ा दर्जा दे दिया। आप भूल गए हो कि सत्ता आपके हाथों में है। अपनी शक्ति को पहचानिए। आपका देश है, किसी और का नहीं है। आपका देश है, आपके खून पसीनों से बना है। किसानों ने ये देश बनाया है, जवानों ने ये देश बनाया है, आपने बनाया है।
An intense battle is on cards in Mandya, parliamentary seat of South Karnataka, considered to be a JDS stronghold. Dev Gowda's grandson, Nikhil Gowda, is locked in a contest with BJP-backed independent Sumalata Ambarish. How the stocks are placed for the Congress-JDS alliance and their opponents in Mandya? Here is a report by Rajat Ken.
Agrarian-rich Mandya in South Karnataka is considered a stronghold of the JDS. In 2018, the party swept the 8 assembly segments here, which is why the party sees it as a perfect setting to prop up Nikhil Gowda, the second grandson of H.D. Devegowda from there. The other grandson, Prajwal Revanna, is contesting from another stronghold of Hassan.
Mandya is a hardcore Vakaliga district. No matter whoever be the candidate, whether it is Rahul or Modi or whoever, they think from their leader, that is Devegowda. Nikhil has a chance because his father is a chief minister. They have promised 8,500 crores for Mandya district and 8 assembly segments are with them. And JDS is a very strong Vakaliga dominated party. And certainly he is a very popular figure, both Nikhil as well as his father. Certainly he can, there will be a very interesting fight. To see the assembly segments, JDS has 8 assembly segments. Then no way Sumalata can fight this election. But when you visit different parts of Mandya, the youngsters and women particularly, they're coming out in support openly for Sumalata's candidature.
Nikhil Gowda is facing a straight challenger in independent candidate Sumalata Ambarish, wife of former Congress MP and late popular star Ambarish. The BJP, which hasn't fielded a candidate, is backing Sumalata.
Central committees, the decision taken by the Central Committee of BJP and also state also advised to us to support Ambarish, Sumalata Ambarish. Because last 3-4 months, the peoples are, the whole that waves are supporting to her. The whole peoples are looking her. So this is the, here, the simultaneously the JDS, that only family politics are doing. Mr. Devegowda ji, his son is chief minister, his grandson is coming to the MP. There all are more than 20 people, they are coming to the politics. This is the home-based politics is going on in the Karnataka. So that, on that against that Mandya district, all peoples are violating against this movements. That's why. So we are going to support to Sumalata to win the this thing goal.
The BJP is banking on the fact that the alliance between the JDS and the Congress is not as smooth as it could be. Mandya reflects the disquiet among the rank and file of the two parties. The Congress won the seat 12 times, the JDS wrested it in 2009 and the Congress regained it in 2013 by polls. The JDS has won the seat 3 times, the latest was in 2018 by polls.
Villages, some only little here, 1,600 villages are there in our constituency. In our own 2 or 3 villages, some like Gram Panchayati members, JDS and Congress like that. But nowadays, yesterday the Chief Minister Kumaraswamy and other big leaders are come to the Mandya city and also my house. And here they are all in coalition. There is no difference. In Mandya Lok Sabha constituency, the JDS and Congress both are like brothers. There is no difference between JDS and Mandya Jilla Congress Committee.
Besides Dalits, the constituency has a large mix of Vokaligas and Kurba communities. But it may be the popularity quotient of the Gowda family and the late actor Ambarish that could tilt the balance.
The battle in Mandya has thrown up an interesting equation. While the Congress-JDS alliance is hopeful that Deve Gowda's grandson Nikhil Gowda will pull off a debut victory from this parliamentary constituency, the BJP, on the other hand, is backing an independent candidate in hopes that it will upset the apple cart of the alliance. In Mandya, with camera person Sahosh Kumar Das and Dhananjay Kumar Singh, Rajat Kane for Rajya Sabha TV.
Congress leader Hardik Patel will not be able to contest the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. The Gujarat High Court has rejected his plea seeking a stay on his conviction. As the last date for filing of nominations is April 4th, which is approaching, he has little time on his hands to approach the Supreme Court to challenge the ruling. The Sessions Court at Visnagar in Mehsana district had sentenced Patel to 2 years imprisonment in last July for rioting and arson in 2015 during the Patidar Kota stir, which was led by him. Hardik Patel was going to contest from Jamnagar in Gujarat. Minister of State for Home Affairs Kiran Rijiju has reiterated his party's stand on the contentious PRC issue in Arunachal Pradesh. In an exclusive interview with Rajya Sabha Television, Rijiju said that the BJP government has dropped the matter of permanent residence certificates for the six communities in Arunachal Pradesh permanently. Let's listen in to the details.
PRC issue is very emotive for the people of Arunachal Pradesh. There are some non-tribals who are living inside Arunachal Pradesh who own land. They require some kind of certificates for their various requirements. So there was a joint high power committee. They recommended. So there are 3 joint high power committee reports also. So the last joint high power committee also recommended with certain stipulations that PRC may be given but with full protected conditions. The Congress party, the present Congress president, went to Lekang, that area, and promised PRC to them. They put pressure on the government. So government got their PRC report. They wanted to discuss in the assembly. Before it was discussed, the violence erupted. Immediately, after the tragic death of killing of 3 youths, the state government stopped this entire process and decided no more PRC issue anytime, forever. My take is very clear. The state government has taken a position not to grant PRC. From my side, I am the member of parliament from Arunachal Pradesh. I guarantee that this PRC issue is closed forever. Not only that, the Congress government who brought Chakmas and Hajongs and settled in Arunachal Pradesh illegally when Arunachal was NEFA. Even Tibetan refugees were settled inside Arunachal Pradesh because Arunachal is a protected territory. So, even despite the Supreme Court judgment, I have taken a position in the Government of India, in the Home Ministry, to appeal to the Supreme Court that we cannot grant Tibetans or Chakmas and Hajong as citizens inside Arunachal Pradesh. As long as I am there, we will protect the indigenous rights and constitutional rights of the people of Arunachal Pradesh. That I guarantee, and that cannot be diluted.